Hey YouTube, I had a suggestion from one of the commenters here on my channel, Jay Hawa, to review the Zebra Delguard mechanical pencil, and I really appreciate the recommendation. This Delguard has an angle that is similar to the angle for the Toga, which both of those pencils, their, I guess, reason for existence is that they solve one of the problems with writing with mechanical pencils. And the problem for the Toga is that when you write with a mechanical pencil, you get a beveled edge or sharp edge on your pencil lead that requires you to rotate the pencil in your hand to keep a consistent line. The Delguard is a little different in that it is targeting lead breakage, and it has a really interesting mechanism for dealing with that I wanted to demonstrate, not only on request, but I think that this is, if you're interested in mechanical pencils, it's a good thing to know and understand. And so, first a little bit about the Delguard in general. It's made by Zebra, and the most common Zebra pencil, of course, that you can get here in the United States at virtually any store is the Zebra M301. The Zebra Delguard I got through Amazon. And I got it in my favorite color. This one is lime green. I prefer a forest green, but a lime green is still nice, so I got it in green. It also comes in white, black, dark blue, sky blue, and pink. And this was about $5.50 on Amazon, and depending upon the color that you get and the availability of those colors, they range anywhere from $5 to $7 USD. And so it comes in a really nice, attractive package. On the back, I already took off the sticker, but you push here and then move towards the top, and the pencil comes out of the case. And so the first thing that really struck me about the Delguard when I got it out of this package is that it has a really solid feel to it. It's plastic. I think the only metal construction is in the very tip of the pencil, which we'll get to the tip of the pencil here in a second. But as plastic pencils go, it feels really solid. Solid grip. It has like a ribbed grip here. Clear plastic grip that helps you to grip it. Pocket clip seems pretty solid. And so that's what really struck me when I got it out of the package. And just like the Toga, I doubt that I'm going to be able to get this to show up on video, but I'll still try. It says on the bottom, or I should say midway through the pencil, it says Delguard system, specifying this special aspect of the mechanism that they're sort of marketing this pencil on. And, Toga always says Toga engine on the middle of the pencil. I'm going to compare the Delguard here to the Tombow monograph shaker and the Toga classic or basic model, because they all have a basic overall similar design in terms of their feel in your hand. And I think it's pretty clear that these three companies are competing with each other at this price point with these three specific models. And I like different dimensions of all of them, and some of them are in my top 10 and some of them are not, but I wanted to show you a little bit about how they work. So first thing is first, let's talk a little bit about the mechanism of the Delguard, because that is its special feature. And I'm going to see if I can demonstrate it here on video. I just use my cell phone video to do these videos. I don't have a professional setup, and so please bear with me. And so if you pay attention to the tip, first thing that you'll notice is that when you press down on the Delguard, the tip gives. Okay, so there's one feature to help to prevent lead breakage, that when you press down hard, the tip gives. Now, a lot of people write at an angle, and when you press down at an angle, the tip also gives. There's a separate mechanism that causes the tip to push forward to protect the lead and prevent it from breaking if you put hard pressure down to the side. So folks, the mechanism works as intended. And if you read the back of the package, it says, no more than 4 clicks in order to get this mechanism to work. And so if we do 1, 2, 3, 4 and press down hard, okay, it'll work. Oh, and there we get a little bit of a breakage if you press too hard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do 5. It definitely breaks. 1, 2, 3. You can put a lot of pressure. Even with 4, you can put a lot of pressure on this pencil and the lead still will not break. So the mechanism works as advertised. And I think that that's a great feature for individuals who have a very heavy hand with their mechanical pencils and have problems with breaking the lead. I think that you would probably tear paper before you broke lead, so long as you're following the instructions within the mechanism. So huge positive for Delguard there. Their engineering of this special mechanism completely works. And if this is something that you've been searching for, reducing lead breakage on your mechanical pencils, the Delguard is definitely something to check out. Now, one of the big problems that I have with these mechanisms that have give to them is that it gives a natural sponginess to the writing experience because the lead sleeve is moving as you write. And it is next to impossible to get perfect precision on your line when you have that moving. And so I'm going to compare this to two other pencils that all have very similar designs. The Tombow Monograph Shaker, which is a shaker pencil, which I have a video here on my channel for if you want to check that out, which has a completely fixed lead sleeve. No play whatsoever in the mechanism. We're going to compare that to the Delguard, which I just demonstrated how the mechanism changes for the Delguard, and then we'll also compare it to the Kuru Toga. You'll notice that the stylings of all three of these pencils are very, very similar. They're both a thicker mechanical pencil design that has ribbed plastic on the bottom. They feel very, very similar when holding them in your hand. And the Kuru Toga's tip also has play in it when you press with it. And so how do these compare to each other? Well, I prepared a writing sample. Okay, and so I'm going to pick the camera up, which normally I don't do in these videos, but that'll give us an opportunity to see a comparison of the writing samples. And so this is by no means a scientific test. I am a scientist. Okay, and I'll tell you right now that this is not a scientific test. It's just my personal impressions. When I write with them, there's me writing with the Tombow Monograph Shaker, the fixed sleeve, the Kuru Toga, and the Zebra Delguard. And based upon just my anecdotal observations, the Tombow Monograph Shaker with that fixed sleeve is the most solid writing experience. Kuru Toga feels a little bit spongy, which is my big complaint with the Kuru Toga, which is the main reason why it is an honorable mention for me. It doesn't make my top 10, and I'm sure that is maddening to some people in the audience because the Kuru Toga is like the bee's knees for a lot of mechanical pencil enthusiasts, to each their own. And then the Zebra Delguard with that mechanism does feel the most spongy to me. And honestly, folks, that is really the only problem that I have with the Zebra Delguard. That it's really spongy when you write with it, but that's kind of a deal breaker for me for the top 10. Because for me, top 10 mechanical pencils, writing experience is going to be the most important thing for me. And so let's run down how the pencil rates. Really quickly before I do that, though, let me just also mention that the eraser for the Delguard is very similar to the eraser that comes with the Kuru Toga. Okay, it's a drafting size eraser. I think it's a little bit smaller than the Pentel Z2-1. I'm having real focus troubles. There we go. The difference between the Delguard and the Kuru Toga is that there is a lot of play in the erasing with the Kuru Toga, and the Delguard does not have as much play. It is a much more solid erasing experience, much more precise. Now you compare both of these pencils to the Monograph Shaker, and it's not even a contest because the Monograph Shaker has an extendable eraser on the end. And so if a complete package is important to you, there's a reason why the Monograph Shaker is in my top 10. It comes in at number 7. It's in my top 10 because it's maybe not as high a quality as the Delguard. I think the Delguard wins out on quality because the pocket clip on the Monograph Shaker is really flimsy, and the click mechanism on the Monograph Shaker is not as satisfying to me as the Delguard, but that eraser is more beneficial, or is a better feature than the Delguard's eraser, and the fixed tip is a better feature than the sponginess of the Delguard's tip, and so I feel pretty confident keeping the Monograph Shaker in my top 10. The Delguard, just like the Kuru Toga, deserves an honorable mention for sure. And so it is going to replace the Rotring Tiki in my honorable mentions. I love the Rotring Tiki. It's one of my favorite mechanical pencils. But if we're starting to get into comparisons, I think the Delguard, with that unique mechanisms and the overall solid feel of its construction, is going to get an honorable mention. Now, what leads me to the honorable mention? Well, writing experience, I'm going to give it a good. It feels like writing with the Unikura Toga and the monograph shakers, which are good writing experiences. The only problem with it that prevents it from getting up into the great category is that it does have that spongy feel to it. For quality, I'm going to go with good. Okay, I reserve great for metal construction pencils, like your Rotring pencils. And I have a TWSBI precision mechanical pencil coming in the mail. And that is famous for its solid construction. So I usually reserve great for quality for all metal construction pencils. So quality good, features good. The Delguard is kind of pocket safe. And here's why I say that. Most mechanical pencils, the lead sleeves are these straight, stabby, hypodermic points. So monograph shaker on the left and Unikura Toga on the right. The Delguard is interesting in that it's sort of a compromise between a conical sleeve and a hypodermic drafting sleeve. I think that I could easily get away with sticking this Delguard in my pocket and it not damaging my pocket. Okay, I feel pretty confident about that. And as you can see, I'm having, there we go, focusing troubles with it. And so the Delguard isn't as stabby as a classic hypodermic drafting sleeve. And so I think you could get away with this thing being pocket safe so long as you weren't jamming it into your pocket. And so other features, it's got a solid erasing mechanism as opposed to the Unikura Toga. It has this interesting lead breakage feature mechanical pencil, which if you have a heavy hand, that feature might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for you. Overall construction of the pencil, really, really solid. So features, I'm going to give it a good. And then price, already mentioned that it's cheap. It's $5 to $7 USD. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on JetPens. It's difficult to find at other retailers here in the United States. Oh, Tokyo Pen Shop sells them. And so check it out. The Delguard is going to take its position in my honorable mentions category. It's going to replace the Rotring Tiki, and I think that it deserves that honorable mention. It has a lot going for it, and I really appreciate Jay Howa. Thanks for recommending this one to me. I'll probably end up getting a few Delguards over the course of my collecting habit, just like I plan to get a few monograph shakers. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.